Before we get started with this video, I wanted to share that Dream Daily, my stationery brand, is doing 5 days of flash sales leading up to the new year. So starting today, December 27th through December 31st, I'll be doing a very big flash sale each day. We have buy one, get one free, gift cards with purchase. Like, it is going to be so good. So head on over to the Dream Daily Instagram for more information. And I hope you guys love this video. It is one of my favorites. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel and welcome to my 2024 goals reset video. If you guys don't know, I'm doing a Reset 2024 series where I'm sharing different reset videos for all aspects of my life. We have financial, home, wellness, and this is the goals reset, which honestly is probably the most important if you're watching any of these, because we're going to be going over how to set resolutions and goals that you can actually achieve in 2024. So I'm going to be sharing my goals, but I'm also going to be sharing an action plan and strategy that you can use going into the new year to help you actually get these goals accomplished, because that's what really matters. I mean, we can write down all the lofty goals that we want, but if nothing changes in our day-to-day life, those goals just aren't going to happen. I decided we needed a fun little drink and I wasn't really wanting coffee, so I poured myself the Olipop cherry cola soda, and oh my gosh, this may be my favorite flavor yet. It's so good. And before we get into the vision boarding, my goal setting strategies, I just wanted to tell you guys that goals aren't everything. Okay, this video is all about goals, but I just want to make a reminder that your goals aren't everything. And so if you accomplished none of your goals for 2023, none of your goals at any month throughout the year, that is okay. So no matter how that applies to your life, I just want to remind you guys of that, because sometimes it's easy to be so focused on the hustle, the grind, the goals, and this is coming from someone who that is my bread and butter. There's more important things that come across your day, and if you're so focused on just yourself and your hustle and your goals, it can be very easy to miss those beautiful moments as well in your life. And so I just wanted to remind yourself of that. So if you're feeling a little bit down, it's okay. This is a fresh start. You're watching this video because you want to feel motivated or inspired or get some ideas for your 2024 goals, which I love, and I hope this video is helpful for you guys. Okay, one more sip and then we're gonna get down to business. This is just such a beautiful sound. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do on this 2024 goals reset is do a little reflection on 2023. I'm very forward thinking that a lot of times I don't like to take a second to look back on the previous year. We're going to compare my vision board side by side, but before we do that, I want you to take a moment and just to grab a piece of paper or your phone or in your mind, but it's better if you write it out, to write about your 2023. So I'm gonna play some instrumental music and put some prompts on the screen just to help guide you through this little journaling session, or maybe it's just a meditation for you, but kind of just think back on your year. Exercise was helpful for you guys. Now we're going to compare my 2023 vision board to my life. So I love seeing these trends also on Instagram and TikTok. I think I'm going to make a little reel that talks about this. Last year I made a Pinterest board, which I call my mood board, and then I made a vision board, which is a little bit more specific than a mood board to me. Like a Pinterest board will just be a mood board, a vibe, and then I make my vision boards really specific. I feel like that's what everyone says is the way to make a vision board. Be specific. Put yourself into those photos, put your life into those photos. So in 2023, I decided to make my vision board vertical because I wanted it to be the lock screen on my phone, and it was the lock screen on my phone for pretty much the entire year. I think this past month in December, I changed it to a picture of spruce, but pretty much this entire year, I was staring at this vision board every time I opened my phone. So let's do a little comparison. You can see what I put on here and then what I achieved. So on here, one of the big items that I saw was get an office space, which I did in January. 2 of my big goals for the entire year happened in January last year, which I feel like is kind of crazy. But I just had it in my head because I was planning these goals, and I
feel like because I kept thinking about it at the start of the year, putting it on my vision board, it all just fell into place really easily. And also God's timing is amazing as well. So I got my first office space, which I still have. I can't believe it's been a year since being there, and it's so amazing. I love having that space to work and to ship from for Dream Daily. So office space, check. Again, that was a huge goal. And obviously my office space isn't anything grand. It's the cheapest option I could find in Nashville that still had white walls and enough. It's literally like 100, maybe 150 square feet. It's small, but it works, and it's such a great starting point for me. So I feel like also I could look at all the beautiful offices on Pinterest and be like, I have to have, you know, a $5,000 a month office space, which is just unrealistic for where I am with my business and my life. And so taking that grand vision of having an office space, but making it realistic for where I'm at in my life right now. So the next goal I see on here is to hire an intern, which also happened. This was kind of cheating because I think I knew in December that I was hiring an intern, but it was a big goal for my year. And so I had 2 amazing interns this past year, and I'm trying to decide if I'm going to continue doing that in 2024. A goal on here that I did not accomplish that I wrote out was hitting 250,000 subscribers. You'll see that one of my goals for next year is to hit 200,000 subscribers. Currently I'm at 195,000, so I probably should have made this goal like 200,000 to be a little bit more realistic, but that's okay. The next goal was to travel to Europe, which I did. Again, this is another big goal that happened earlier in the year. It happened in April, and it's been on my bucket list to go to France, to go to London, and I also got to go to Spain, Barcelona specifically, and wow. It was such an amazing trip. I have a whole vlog from that trip. I went with Eve Ultimate Break, and also to have that Europe trip be paid for and have it be like a work trip in that regard, a content trip, was amazing. And I just felt so blessed, and I still think about that trip and still talk to friends from that trip. And so it was such a blessing in my life in 2024, and one of my favorite goals that I accomplished. The next goal that it's funny that it's on here. Sometimes when you look back on your vision boards, you're like, what was I thinking? But it's good to dream big. And that is to have a condo in Nashville. Definitely not in the budget this year. I think this was maybe one of my bigger goals that I knew was going to happen like in the next 5 years, but I put it on my 2023 vision board, so we have to address it. My next one is I wanted to have more hobbies. On here I put like a picture of painting, and I have ballet. I didn't do those 2 hobbies, but I did other hobbies. So I didn't get into ballet classes like I wanted. I'm gonna try to do that again in 2024, re-put that on the vision board. But I did get into more sports like pickleball and golf. I know I talked about this in my resolution ideas video. Having like hobbies and having hobbies be one of your goals is such a great way to put some fun in your life and have something going for you besides just like work or school. And so I am really happy with the hobbies I did cultivate. I also got a Cricut towards the end of the year, and so like a little bit of crafting hobbies as well. Okay, and then I also had a picture of a girl doing Pilates, and I put healthy lifestyle. I put a check for this one. My healthy lifestyle and like my workout routine fluctuates based on the month and the season. Right now in busy season, it's not been as existent, so that's why I'm putting it on a goal for January. But there were definitely months throughout the year where I was really consistent with my workouts. I love trying new Pilates places. It's one of my favorite workouts. So I have the Pilates girl in her aesthetic studio, and I got to go to a lot of aesthetic Pilates studios and really enjoy my workouts this year. So I'm gonna say a check. This one I forgot to put on this vision board, but I had it as a big goal, and I've been sharing that, and that is to read 40 books, and I have pushed myself to the end of this year. This just goes to show, like, when you have a goal and you're really wanting to reach it, you can make it happen. So I had 5 books that I had to read in December, along with running 2 businesses and Christmas activities, you know, and I was like, you know what? 5 books is a lot to read in 1 month, but I am going to get this done. And how I did it was I added in audiobooks, which I usually never listen to, but I think I listened to 1 or 2 audiobooks for the month, and that really helped me. So when I had my drive home for Christmas, when I was just cleaning, when I was packing, I was able to listen to these audiobooks and check this goal off my list. We did it, guys. 40 books for the year. I'm going to be sharing with you guys my new book goal later in this video. Okay, so that was really fun to look back at my 2023 vision board and see what I accomplished, see kind of what goals I did or didn't hit. So if you made a vision board last year, I highly recommend doing the same. make a fun little video about it for yourself or to share on social media. If you do, tag me because I would love to see those. But now let's move on. We're done with 2023, okay? It's time for a fresh start. It's time for some new goals. These get me so excited. Let's start with planning our 2024 goals and resolutions. So the first thing we're going to do is a goals brain dump. So this is going to be on paper and on Pinterest. So I've already done this because I've already made my goals for the year so I could share them with you. But what you're going to do is go on Pinterest and just look at the imagery, see kind of the vibes that you want to get, make that mood board. And then you're going to take a journal or a piece of paper and write out just like a brain dump of things you want to get done. It doesn't have to be sectioned off. You don't have to be realistic. Just think of like big goals that you want to accomplish this year. Maybe some are business related, some are personal, some are wellness or relationships. I share all my goals with you, but usually these are personal and you don't have to share them with anyone and they're just for you. So be honest and write down what you really want to happen in 2024. If you need some ideas for goals that are kind of unique and not just drink more water, lose 5 pounds, then you can watch my 24 resolution ideas for 2024 video. I posted a few weeks ago and you guys always love these videos. I have done them for like the past 8 years. It's kind of crazy. You guys always love that video. So if you haven't watched it yet, go watch and then you can come back with your new ideas. Okay, so now I'm going to be sharing with you guys my goals for 2024. Looking at how long this video has been so far, I think I may make a part 2 to this video of then the action plan. So I'm going to be sharing my goals with you in this section and we're going to make a 2024 vision board. And then in the part 2, we're going to share how to actually achieve these goals. I did 5 big goals in these 4 areas of my life. Those areas are financial, personal, content, and dream daily business. Content having to do with like YouTube, my social media brand. So I'm not going to share in this video my 5 big financial goals because I share those in my financial reset video, which is probably going up after this one. I don't know the timing of these videos, but if it's not up already, it'll be up soon. And in that video, I'll be sharing 5 very personal financial goals. We're talking about paying off debt, paying off my car, building a savings, credit scores. Like we're going to get nitty gritty and I'm going to share my financial status with you guys and my goals. But let's go into my personal goals next. Okay, so the 5 big goals that I have that are just for me, nothing to do with business or work. 1, I put this on my list every year. It is such a favorite of mine, travel somewhere new. In 2022, I made this a goal and I traveled to LA and Miami. Yeah, Miami and LA for the first time. Last year, I obviously traveled to Europe and I got to go to Las Vegas for the first time. So I don't know where I'm going to travel new in 2024. It's kind of up in the air and exciting. We'll see as the year goes on, but I love having that as a goal. In 2024, I am wanting to read 50 books. So increasing it by 10 books. That means reading a little more than 4 books a month, but pretty much 4 books a month, which is a lot. But I think if I start listening to more audiobooks like that, what I started implementing at the end of this year, that can very much be doable. My next goal is to get in a consistent workout routine, working out 4 times a week. Working out, I also consider like doing my outdoor walks, but because of the busy season, I kind of got off on my gym routine and like my Pilates class routine. So I want to start implementing that again and really just be my healthiest. Do something fun once a week. So having a little bit of fun. My weekends I cherish. Even though I work for myself, I really try to make the most of my weekends. Hanging out with friends, with my boyfriend, or with family. And so this could be going golfing, it could be doing a game night with friends, a wine night, it could be going to a dance lesson, an ice skating lesson maybe. I ice skated a bit when I was younger as well, and I just went the other day and I'm like, this is so fun. This would be a fun like January activity. So doing something fun once a week. And then lastly, this is kind of unique, but that my family, this past year, we built our dream house at our favorite beach. We have been going to this island ever since I was little, and to finally have a space there that we can call ours and that we can rent to others is so amazing. And it's literally what I'm looking forward to most probably this year, is being able to go to this beach more. So my goal, hopefully I'm going to go more than this, but it is like a 10-hour, 12-hour drive from Nashville. So it is pretty far away, but I want to spend 4 weeks at the beach throughout the year. So like every quarter spend a week, or even just go for like a long weekend. But I want to spend more time at this beach house, at the beach, and I'm so excited for this. I'm so excited. Okay, so my first two are numbers related, which I just set just to kind of see and like it's easy to track. But you guys know with social media, I'm not huge on setting number goals or like feeling down about them because you really just can't control the algorithm sometimes. But I would love to hit 200,000 subscribers on YouTube, which I really do think is doable because I'm only 5,000 subscribers away. And then on Instagram, on my personal Instagram, I would love to hit 20,000 followers. I'm currently at like almost 15,000. And then on the Dream Daily Instagram, we are a little over 4,000 followers, and I'd love to hit 10K on Dream Daily. So like that would be a big jump, but again, I think it could be doable. The next goals aren't following related or numbers related. I would love to be interviewed on a Dear Media podcast. This has been a goal of mine, just like in the back of my head. And I think I want to really bring it to life and like put it as a goal, put it on my vision board. I love Dear Media podcasts, and I think it'd be so fun to take a trip to Austin or LA and be interviewed on whatever podcast would have me in their studio. So we'll see, but that is a fun goal. I would love to have 2 reoccurring brand deals every month. So 2 brands every month that I work with consistently. That just helps a lot with like managing finances and knowing I have a set amount of money coming in from those brand deals every month. It really helps with budgeting. And then lastly, I would love to work with Disney. You guys know I love Disney. I got to go to Disneyland this past year for a day. Me and Lucy took our senior trip to Disney World in 2022. And I've just always been a fan of the brand and the parks. And recently I saw Carter Sullivan got to work with Disney and go on like a gifted trip, which would just be amazing. So I'm gonna manifest it. I'm putting it on my vision board. I would love to go to Disney this year because it's been a few years and go as a gifted trip or just work with them in some capacity. Okay, lastly, we have my 5 big business goals. So these are specific to Dream Daily, my planner and stationery brand. It's a product business. I would love to get Dream Daily in a large retailer. I've been going back and forth in my head on if I want Dream Daily to be on Amazon or not. There's pros and cons, but I think 2024 may be the year. I heard a statistic on a podcast that like over 60% of Americans have an Amazon Prime account. Not even that they shop on Amazon, but that have a Prime account. So they're like frequent Amazon shoppers. And I'm just like, that could be a whole customer base that I'm just not tapping into. There's a lot of people who like only buy through Amazon, which it is what it is. And Amazon does of course hold a lot of small businesses. You can keep that in mind when you're making your Amazon purchases. You could be shopping from a small business. So it's a long process and kind of expensive to get started, but I think in the long run, it could be really good to have that option for people. My next goal for Dream Daily is to improve international shipping. This is something I've heard from you guys. I have amazing international followers and customers, and I know the shipping is so expensive overseas, and so I really want to work on this. Whether that means calling up my local FedEx and UPS and negotiating, I don't know. I honestly don't know what it entails, but it's on my list to figure out. And then I want to have at least 4 launches. This past year, I only did 2 big launches, the Cottage Collection and then the Daily Planners. I want to do 4, even if 2 of them are smaller launches, like maybe just 1 product or an accessory or merch line. Just having smaller launches, but more frequently. So those were all my goals. And now that I have like very specific goals laid out, I can then make a very specific vision board. So this is what I love about making vision boards, is making them specific. I did this for my financial vision board, which you'll see in my financial reset video. I did a whole vision board just for that. Part of my goals, but I'm going to kind of combine that with these other goals and make a large vision board that's very specific. So this means, yes, taking pictures from my mood board on Pinterest, but also like screenshotting my channel and having it now say 200,000 subscribers, or screenshotting my Instagram and having it say 10,000. So that kind of thing to really help me visualize. The vision board is really there to help you visualize your goals becoming a reality.
And we're going to do that with this vision board. So like I said earlier, I first create a mood board on Pinterest. I usually just title it the year and I make it private or secretive, so it's not public on Pinterest. And here is where I just kind of cultivate a vibe for the year, and I add to this throughout the year. So this is something that's like always changing throughout the year, but it's not what I consider my vision board. So I usually search my goals and then aesthetic. So here I search like aesthetic cat setup if I wanted to include something like about spruce, or I'll search small business aesthetic. And then I start downloading the photos that are very specific to my goals. This is key, okay? Because you can have beautiful photos on a vision board, but if they don't mean something to you or correlate to a specific goal you have, then it's just a pretty picture, right? So I also took screenshots of like my Goodreads and my social platforms. Like I said, I put a little white block over what I want changed and then copy the text and the text color. So like you can see, I made it look like 50 out of 50 books read. I made it look like I already had 200,000 subscribers, like I already had 10,000 followers, and I already had 20,000 followers, so that I can visualize that happening. You can also tell that I kind of laid out the photos in sections, like the top left and bottom left are more business and work related, while like the right side of the vision board is more personal related. And then I add in text. So I always add the year big to the center, and then I like adding in little text like how I did last year, kind of explaining the pictures and how they relate to my goals. So taking frequent trips to the beach, being on a Dear Media podcast, working with Disney, having an organized home. You can also see that I did end up adding in a few other things that I didn't mention on my goals list, like taking trips with friends, and having an organized home and office, just because I made this vision board a few days after filming this video and writing out my goals. So it's a little more detailed with things I kind of thought about. And that's why vision boards are great, because you can always edit and add to them, and make them relate to where you're at in your year. So it's totally editable. Don't think you have to keep this for the entire year, but that is my vision board. I then downloaded it to make my desktop screensaver, and I think I want to print this out as well. That is it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Like I said, the part 2 is going to be coming in the early new year of how to actually achieve your goals, but right now just kind of brain dump, figure out what you want, make that vision board, and I will see you guys very soon for another video in this 2024 reset series.